Three, two, one.
Yes, hello everybody and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am back, and most importantly I am back road racing once again, and today I'm taking part in an event that I have never done before, a road 5-mile race. Now I've done plenty of 5Ks and I've done plenty of 10Ks, but never before have I done a 5-mile race. As always, with every race that I enter, I always want to win, and that probably is my primary target. But sensibly and more strategically, I've got something else on my mind today. Now I want to be able to hold a 3 minutes and 8 seconds per kilometre. I set myself this goal because this is a touch slower than my 5k pace, but it's where I want my goal 10k pace to be. So if I can do this race and feel like that pace feels okay, then it'll give me big confidence coming into some huge upcoming races. And I thought I'd chuck the winning results from the last 4 years on the screen now. The reason I haven't gone back any further than that is because it was the bloody pandemic. Let's see how many of these times I can beat it. As always, I have bombed it early on, and I've gone against what I said I would do and start patiently. But sometimes when you've got company, you just have to go with it. There's two lads from a local running club near me called Stroud. I'm running with those two boys there. My mate Luke's featured in quite a few of my videos before. He is in this front group as well, and there's a couple of lads from CLC Striders. Now, this course then, being 5 miles, is relatively flat with slight undulations over the motorway bridges. There is two of those coming up. One of them is located just after the 2 mile mark, and one of them is located just after the 3 mile mark. So other than that, it's a pretty good course. Now, the weather conditions for this race were absolutely spot on. No wind, about 8 degrees, and sunshine was blazing. Beautiful temperatures to race hard. Now, as this is a mile race, I will be putting the mile splits on the screen. I'll also include the kilometre splits as well. But I thought I would share with you some of my feelings and emotions that I had during this race today. So, when I'm running towards the front of a pack, I'm always quite conscious to push too hard, because I have this fear inside me that if I push too hard too early, then I'll be overtaken. But before the race today, I consciously told myself that I was going to push hard from the very start, and you can see that within this pace. I've set myself this early hard pace because I want to be able to see how long I can hold this for, and I've got no fear about people overtaking me today if I blow up. Sometimes I've raced a little bit too cautiously in the past, so the plan is to race hard and just hold on for as long as I possibly can do. Okay, pretty solid start. First kilometre in a 3:06, a touch faster than where I wanted to be, but all being said, that's not too bad. Now, being 5 miles, that's just over 8 kilometres, which is closer to a 10k race than it is to a 5k, but the drop off straight after a 5k in terms of running at that high end speed is pretty quick, so you do have to make some adjustments. Now, it became pretty clear from an early stage that this would be potentially a solo effort, and I've had one of these previously in the summertime running the Barkley 10k, and that provided me with quite a mental challenge because I switch off quite a lot on my own, and when I run in a pack it just makes it so much easier to switch off without compromising in terms of your speed and the overall time. So today becomes quite a big challenge in terms of me mentally staying on task. Luckily enough, there was a cyclist up front who was leading the way all the way, took me round the course, showed me where to turn left and right. I've never ran this course before, so everything would be a complete surprise in terms of which way that I was running. I didn't even check out a course map before. I couldn't actually find one. But yeah, luckily enough, the cyclist was on the route in front of me. So for all you Americans and for any of you runners over the age of 40, that is my first mile, and we did that in 5 minutes and 4 seconds. So luckily I've not put myself in a hole and I've not found myself chasing the game. Now, something that I've been doing recently in a lot of my races is turning off the auto lap at 1 kilometre. I've just found with my last 2 races the splits on my watch to be so different to the core splits, and that's given me some difficulties in terms of realising where I'm actually at in terms of pacing. I found myself to be too far behind where the kilometre splits are in accordance of the actual race as opposed to my watch. So I've turned those off and I've started to button press every time I go past a marker or just glance down at my watch so I can see a rolling time. Now, talking of rolling time, we are getting very close towards that 2nd kilometre, and in fact we go through that 2nd kilometre in a 3:13, so a touch slower than the first, but there was a little bit more elevation on this part of the course, so that is to be expected. Okay, the Parkrun World Tour will resume this weekend and we are heading to a city near the Midlands. Now, interestingly, I did have a very nice comment from a fellow YouTuber, Marmy. He left me a comment and I've actually challenged him to a parkrun at some point. I'm yet to hear a response back though, so we'll wait and see when he does get back to me. But Marmy, if you're out there, let me know if you're up for that challenge. Okay, very quickly, let's chat about what shoes I'm wearing today. Now, I've been chatting quite a lot with my friend Dylan, who's a lot faster than me, and we talk about what we think the best race day shoes are and what the best shoes are for training. So today, I've opted to wear the Nike Vaporfly 3s, and I've not opted to wear anything like the Adidas Evos or the Nike Alpha Fly 3s or even the Nike Vaporfly 4s. I've gone for an older model. I think for me, it's a shoe that I have so much faith in, and when you have so much faith and trust in a running shoe, it's just something less you need to worry about. Dylan wears them. If they're fast enough for him, they're fast enough for me. So we'll be wearing these shoes for the next 2 or 3 more races, because that will then bring them up to the 50-kilometre mark. When they hit 50 kilometres worth of racing, they then drop into my shoe rotation and I start to wear them for my Tuesday and Friday night sessions. But until that moment, we'll be racing in them, and when we do race past the 50 kilometres, we will be looking and having our eyes peeled for the next pair of race day shoes. If you could do me a massive favour, please, and hit that subscribe button if you haven't done already. The reason why I ask, and you're probably absolutely sick to death of all these bloody YouTubers saying hit subscribe, hype, like, comment, share, subscribe. Don't worry about all of that. Just hit the subscribe button. You could do me a massive favour. It's absolutely free. It just helps me with the YouTube algorithm and gives me that little bit more exposure and just allows me to be able to create and produce more running content. If you do, that'd be absolutely mint. If not, don't worry. Keep watching and hopefully we bring home the W. Okay, so that was the 3rd kilometre, and we brought that one home in a 3:09. I've just sped this bit up there because it's a little bit boring. There's the 2-mile split as well, and we hit that one in 5:05. So not bad pacing, 5:04 and a 5:05.
Well done.
We've gone through that 4-kilometre mark, and that was a 3:06, so we've picked up the pace nicely. But what you'll see now ahead of me is the first of 2 bridges. Now, these bridges are relatively short and sharp, but they're enough just to snap you out of the rhythm. Now, at this point, I was convinced I was comfortably ahead of second place. In fact, I thought I was a couple of 100 metres ahead. But mistake number one in this race was looking back to see that actually the chap was within 50 metres of me. Now, to this point, I'd been really strong and not actually looked behind me once. I knew that there were people behind me. I didn't know how close they would be. So from now onwards, I made a bit of a deal with myself that I was going to try and not look back as much as I can. I'm a sucker for it, and I do it all the time in races. I've even done it in track races, which is pretty pathetic. But we're over halfway into this race now, and I'm really working hard, but also not feeling horrendous. And the reason why I think I might be feeling better than what I normally would do on a race like this is because, again, I've taken my bicarb supplement. I'm not affiliated with them. I was not paid to say that. I've taken this off my own accord, and I've been using this supplement to help me with my running. And as somebody that does quite a lot of racing, I found this actually does make a little bit of a difference. Whether it's the placebo effect, I don't know. But if the placebo effect is having an effect, then who am I to care on what the reason is why it's working?
Mate. Good mate, well done.
Okay, so I've bundled us along a little bit because I can't record the entire race. I can do with a 5k, but unfortunately this camera just doesn't allow me to record for that long. So fifth kilometre was a 3:12, and that took us through the 5 kilometre mark. We did that in 15 minutes and 47 seconds. So some 47 seconds away from my 5k PB, and I do feel like I'm in pretty good shape right now. And if I were to be put in a fast race, I reckon I could run 15 minutes close to flat, maybe even under. I came tantalisingly so close in May this year. I ran 15:001. And yeah, that broke me, but who cares? I was in the shape to run sub 15 at that time, and now I feel like I'm in even better shape now. So to go through 15:47, I don't feel absolutely broken by this, and I feel like I can continue at this pace for at least another 3k more.
Massive lead, mate, massive lead.
So if you've been watching a bit of the channel recently, you'll know that I haven't posted in nearly 2 weeks, and there's a perfectly good reason why, and that's because we have just bought our first house. We bought that about a month ago, and for the first 4 weeks, all we have done is DIY non-stop, painting, decorating, putting furniture up. We've put getting a new kitchen sorted, sorting the bathroom out, flooring, carpet. Jeez, the list is endless. I've spent so much money. I've got no money left, but Vic and I absolutely love it, and we love this house. So hopefully soon it will all be complete and I can get back to charging around these races and providing more content. But thank you for being patient, and that is the reason why I've not posted in the last 2 weeks. Alright, you can see the pace has dropped quite significantly, but that is because that was the second of 2 slopes. Now that one is done, I'm over the motorway bridge, the hills are all done, and as you can see just up here on the left hand side, we are now hitting the 4 mile mark. Just 1 mile to go, and at this point mentally I was strong. Just last Friday, we were doing 1 mile repeats at the track, and we did those in 5:06. And I knew if I could run a 5:06 here for my last mile, then I'll be in shape for doing a very good time. I want to say a massive shout out to Tewkesbury Running Club for putting this event on today. Absolutely superb, and everything before and after went swimmingly. No issues whatsoever. The weather was perfect. I know sometimes they've changed this route last minute because the road is liable to flooding. No issues with that today. Perfectly well organised. Thank you, team, and I will be back next year. Okay, there we go, through 7th kilometre in a 3:06. Really starting to turn that screw. Okay, now it was at this point during the race, with less than 1 kilometre to go, my bloody camera stopped working. So, without ruining things, you're going to have to trust me here, but we did manage to take home the victory. There is a picture that kind of proves it. There are the results on the screen as well, so I'm very sorry that we didn't get me crossing the finish line. Absolutely brilliant day, and Max, take it away for a very quick outro.
Woo! All done. Get on. Absolutely love that one. First position, not that that really matters, 25:30. Solid time. Didn't feel like I was pushing it, did the whole thing on my own. Felt pretty good today. All in all, a good Sunday morning. In terms of racing, we're looking towards maybe an international race coming in the new year, possibly. I think Valencia is on the cards. Valencia 10K, January 11th. That is the plan, where I'm gonna try and run as fast as possible. Other than that, thank you very much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.